Welcome, dear students. Hope you all are preparing well for your upcoming exams. And here I am with you all today with the topic final accounts. This particular topic, final accounts, as the name suggests, is the last topic of your accountancy first year. So, in this particular topic, what we are going to learn and what we are going to discuss. Before starting the subject, I would like to just review with you all a simple question, and that is about the meaning of accounts. If you see the meaning of accounts, you see that it is the art of recording, it is the art of posting, and so on we have studied, and in the end, we have seen that it ends with interpretation and so on. So today, we are going to learn about that particular interpretation and all, and along with that, the focus of maintaining the accounts was what? The focus of maintaining the accounts was mainly to know the profit or loss of a business organization. So, here, let me show you what are the models we are going to learn. In fact, like what final account consists of and all, I have made into models like trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet. When these three are added together, we call it as a final account. And that final account, we are going to learn without adjustments and with adjustments. Like that, in each session, we are going to discuss in detail about the final accounts. So first and the foremost, we are supposed to know what is the meaning of final accounts. What do we mean by final accounts? As I said you, dear students, final accounts are nothing but these are the accounts which are prepared at the end of the accounting year you call or financial year you call to know the financial position of a business enterprise. And what does the financial position of a business it comprises of? It is nothing but it is comprising of your profitability position, that is to know how much profit we have earned or how much loss we have incurred. Along with that, we would like to know what are the assets and liabilities of the firm. Like that, here in this particular session, we are going to learn about the preparation of final accounts, as I said. But before that, we'll focus on the theory, which is very important. And here, when we see what are the parts of final account, in the sense how the final account looks or what final account comprises of. So dear, final accounts, which are also known as financial statements we call, and these statements or final account, it comprises of three parts, keep in mind. One is trading account, one is profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Along with that, my dear students, we can also say that your final accounts or your financial statement, they also consist of your statement of retained earnings and all, which you are going to learn in a higher level of your education. Then, what is the purpose? Why one has to maintain the final accounts? What is the necessity that we have to prepare final accounts? So, there are two basic objectives, as I said you. One, to know the profitability position, that is to find out whether your business has earned profit or has incurred losses. And second is to know the financial position. Financial position, in the sense how much are the assets and how much are the liabilities. So, here comes the basic theory of your final accounts. So, once again, meaning of final accounts? They are nothing but they are the accounts which are prepared at the last stage called the final stage of finding out the profit or loss, and they are also called as financial statement, and they comprise of three parts. One is your trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So dear students, one more important point is trading account, profit and loss account. These two are accounts, and balance sheet is not an account, it is a statement. And why it is called statement, this I am going to discuss with you all when I teach you balance sheet. So if anybody is asking you all, then say final account, it comprises of two accounts, that is trading account and profit and loss account, and one statement called balance sheet. Like that, there are three parts that we have to keep in mind. And objectives: one, to find the profit, and one, to know the financial position, which you can see on the screen. Then comes the next part called the trading account. First, I am going to explain you in detail all the theory, and in the next session, model wise, I mean to say trading account, profit and loss account problems will be solved. So, first part of the final accounts is the trading account. What do we mean by trading? The word trading itself, it means an activity of buying and selling. So, the account which we prepare to know the result out of buying and selling of goods is called trading account. In the sense, this particular account called trading account, it is the first part of the final accounts, and that is prepared to know the profit or loss, and that profit or loss you can see, which I wrote in the bold italics type, it is the gross profit or the gross loss. Gross profit or the gross loss. Now, sir, what do you mean by gross profit or gross loss? So, the difference whatever we get between the cost of sales and the sales. Cost of sales and the sale, then we call it either as gross profit or gross loss. When we are going to call it as gross profit, if your sales are more, than the cost of goods sold, then we call that we have earned gross profit. Whereas, if your cost of goods sold is more and the sales are less, then we call there is gross loss. Now, what do we mean by cost of goods sold? How we are going to find out cost of goods sold? Then we'll take into account the opening stock. In the sense, the stock which we had at the beginning of the year. And to that we are going to add all the purchases, purchase of goods. When I say purchase of goods, here the word purchases, it means net purchases. Then what do we mean by net purchases? Net purchases means purchases minus purchase returns. Purchases minus purchase returns. What is the other name of purchase return? While learning journal entries, we have studied that purchase returns are also called as return outwards. So, purchase minus purchase return or return outwards will give you net purchases. That we are going to add, and to that we'll add all direct expenses. Focus. Direct expenses. What do we mean by direct expense? Direct expenses are those expenses which are incurred by a business organization or a trader you call to bring the goods into the condition of making them to sale. In the sense, all those expenses which are directly connected with purchases or production we can call. Then what are the suitable examples here? What all are included in direct expenses? Direct expenses, it includes all your factory expenses we can call, manufacturing expenses we can call, like wages, carriage inward. Carriage inward is also called as carriage on purchases. Like that, when we pay for octroi, in the sense the tax which we pay between two municipal limits, like we have octroi we call, like the customs duty we have, dock charges we have, they all come under the category of direct expenses. In the format, again, I am going to show all the direct expenses. Then closing stock. What do we mean by closing stock? Closing stock is nothing but the amount or the value of goods which are left unsold. We are not able to sell and they remained unsold on the last date of accounting, that is called closing stock. So, this cost of goods sold, again, when we put in the vertical pattern, it will give you or it will help you to find out the gross profit or gross loss. Nothing but that only we are going to take into account as trading account. Now, what do we mean? Like, what are the various features of trading account? As I told you, it is the first stage in preparation of final accounts. Then, what we record? Here we record only the net sales and the cost of goods sold. As I explained you the term and the meaning of cost of goods sold. Then comes net sales. As I told you about net purchases are nothing but purchases minus purchase return. In the similar manner, net sales are nothing but the total sales minus sales return. What is the other name of sales return? Return inwards. Like that, it records net sales and direct cost. So, net sales minus direct cost, that is when your net sales are more and if your direct cost is less, you will get gross profit, dear students. If your cost of goods sold is more, your net sales are less, the difference will give you gross loss. And that gross profit or gross loss, we are going to transfer to the second part of the final account, which is called profit and loss account. That is called as profit and loss account. So these are the four important features of trading account. First, it is the first stage. It records only the sales and the cost of goods sold. It shows the balance called gross profit and gross loss. That gross profit or gross loss is transferred to profit and loss account. Then, why one has to prepare the trading account? What is the utility? What is the purpose? What is the need of preparing the trading account? So, as it is, the basic need is to know the gross profit or gross loss. That is basic. Then second one, they say that this particular trading account, it is based on the matching principle. Hope you all have studied the matching concept when in the basic classes, accounting concepts. There we see that any expense, before incurring the expense, we try to match with the income. That is what revenue we are going to generate. Like that, here to find the selling price with the cost of goods sold, we are going to prepare the trading account. That is the basic purpose, dear students. Then comes the format. How the trading account looks. This particular format, if you look, the same thing what I have explained to you in cost of goods sold, that we have put in the account pattern. Now, if you see the format of trading account, debit side, I took few items. On credit side, I took few items. If you observe, recall the formula, cost of goods sold is equal to opening stock plus purchases plus direct expense minus closing stock, we said. Nothing but debit minus credit. In the similar pattern here also we did. And the second part we said, net sales minus cost of goods sold will give you gross profit or gross loss. That particular part, if you see, my dear, that we have recorded or posted in the account form. So always keep in mind, whenever you are asked to prepare trading account, the first item what comes on the debit side, first item always, please keep in mind, is opening stock. This is not going to change the position. You cannot change the position of opening stock. It will remain in the first line. Second, it will be purchases. Two purchases. Now, what we call these two purchases? These are nothing but these are your gross purchases we call. Gross purchases. From that, when we subtract purchase returns or return outwards, we get net purchases. Then we are going to debit all direct expenses like wages, customs duty, import duty, carriage expenses. Here we have to focus here. When I say simply carriage, or if I say carriage inward, or if I say carriage on purchases, then it is carriage expense only. Similarly, we have freight. Other name for carriage is also called as freight. Like that, whenever we come across freight inward, then it is also debited to which account? Trading account. Like that, we have royalty, manufacturing expense, packing expense. Apart from that, dear students, apart from that, we have other expenses like factory rent, factory insurance. Like that, anything related to factory, if they give, that will come in the trading account. Then comes the credit side. First, we'll take buy sales. And the sales, what we write as buy sales, is called gross sales. From that, when we subtract sales return, otherwise return inwards, we get net sales and the closing stock. Once these postings are done, there are 4 items I am telling you. Debit side, first item always will be opening stock. You cannot say, sir, I'll write opening stock in 4th or 5th line. No, dear. This has its position. Opening stock will come here itself. Second will be always purchase, debit side. Then credit side, always first item will be buy sales and next closing stock. This depends on the circumstance whether returns are given or not in the problem. These 4 items will remain here only. After that, you can write in the jumbled manner the expenses. That is not a issue. Then, once all the postings are done, if your credit total, you can see here, credit side total, if it is more than the debit side total, we'll have the gross profit. We'll get gross profit. And if the debit total is more than the credit total, we'll get gross loss. This how we are going to get when we'll do the problem. That time we are going to understand in a better manner. So this is the format of the trading account. What is the format of trading account? First, debit side will write to opening stock. Second item, to purchases. Then all direct expenses we are going to debit. Similarly, on the credit side, we are going to take sales. If there are any returns, we will minus and closing stock. Like that, the format of trading account you can see. And whatever the difference you get, either you get the gross profit or gross loss, that we have to transfer to profit and loss account. So, trading account, the first part. Then comes the second part of the final accounts, which is called profit and loss account. What is this profit and loss account? This is nothing but it is an account which is prepared as a second step of finding the profit. In the initial stage, in the first stage, we have calculated or determined gross profit or gross loss. That is only what we took, only the expense we took which we have incurred for purchasing the commodities or for manufacturing the commodities, that we called as direct expenses. But we know to run the business, there are so many indirect expenses dear. There are so many indirect expenses we call. Along with that, there are so many incomes which we get from the business. So, all those expense and incomes are also to be considered so that we can get the net profit or net loss. Like that, the second part, what we are going to prepare is the profit and loss account. And how this particular profit and loss account is defined. Then Professor Carter He says that it is an account in which all gains and losses are collected. What we are collecting? Gains and losses. Why? To find out, that is to ascertain the excess of gain over the losses. Nothing but the profit or the loss. And which profit or loss we get? We get net profit or net loss, dear students here. This net profit or net loss. When the net profit will get? As usual, credit side. When credit is more, if debit is less, we'll get net profit. Sir, debit side of profit and loss account is more, credit side is less, then we'll get net loss. Then what is the utility of this net profit or net loss? If you see here, gross profit we have transferred to profit and loss account. Now this net profit where we have to transfer. Net profit is nothing but, dear, it is the reward for the owner. It is the reward of the owner. Thereby, whenever you get the net profit or net loss, that we have to transfer to the capital. Capital, that is the amount what is invested by the owner. And if there is net profit, we'll add to capital, that is your capital will increase. If there is net loss, we'll subtract because the capital will decrease. Like that, the profit and loss account here we have. Now, if you see the features of profit and loss account, you can see that it is the second stage. And this is prepared at end of accounting period. In the sense, at end of the accounting period is nothing but every 31st March. And then here we follow accrual basis of accounting. Mercantile basis also we can call, accrual also we can call. In the sense, even the outstanding, prepaid, all in the adjustments I'll teach, that also we are going to account. And why these? And while preparing this account, what we take? This account we credit gross profit and all the other incomes, and we debit all indirect expense and losses. In the sense, which rule we are following? We are following the rule of nominal account. The rule of nominal account we have studied. Debit all expense, credit all incomes. Purely on the basis of following the rule of nominal account, we prepare this particular profit and loss account. And as I told you, the balance will be net profit or net loss. Now, if you see, here is the format of the profit and loss account. Maximum all the items are given. Now, if you see, on the debit side, we brought the gross loss. It depends. Gross loss may be there or may not be there. If any gross loss is there in trading account, we'll bring it to the debit side, whereas gross profit will bring to the credit side. Okay. Apart from that, all indirect expense you can see like salaries, office salaries, rent, rate, taxes, printing, telephone expense, legal expense, entertainment expense, then your advertisement, postage, telegram, Xerox charges, bank charges, like that, all indirect expenses we are going to write in the debit side of the profit and loss account. 2-3 important points what would like to discuss, dear students, is about the carriage. Generally, they'll give you carriage outward. If they give carriage outward, it should compulsory come in the profit and loss account. By mistake also don't take in the trading account. Like that, carriage on sale should come in trading profit and loss account only. Be careful with the carriage inward and carriage outward. If they say carriage inward, it should go to trading account. If they say carriage outward, profit and loss account. Similarly, carriage on purchase should go to trading account. Carriage on sale should come to profit and loss account. So here if we see, these are the major items which we are going to debit in the profit and loss account. Like that, what we are going to show on the credit side. The rule is credit all incomes and gain. So anything received, like discount received, commission received, then your bad debts recovered. Like that, anything received, we are going to show on the credit side. Again, debit total, credit total will get the answer. and that will be either net profit or net loss. If we get net profit, that will transfer to capital account, will add. If we get net loss, that also will transfer to capital, but we are going to subtract. So this is the format of profit and loss account. Now, together, how it looks. Always trading account, profit and loss account. No doubt they are the two parts, but they go together. So in this pattern, we have to prepare the trading and profit and loss account. In the sense, in one page only, half page you can say for trading account and remaining half we'll use for profit and loss account. Like that, here we have the format, dear student. In the same pattern, we are going to solve the problems. So the first part was trading account. The second part was profit and loss account. And the third part is called balance sheet. As I told you, it is a statement. Balance sheet is a statement. And what this statement it shows? It is the statement which shows all the assets and liabilities of a business organization. And that too when? Not as you like, on a certain date, on a particular date. As at, if you see the word as at, this is important. So, this statement is not an account, I told you, it is a statement. And this statement, it reports what? It reports what are the property owned by the enterprise and what are the claims of the creditors and owners. That's the reason the balance sheet tallies. If you recall your journal proper, we used to write capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. That is the same principle we follow here. So what is balance sheet? It is nothing but it is a statement which sets out or which arranges or considers you call assets and liabilities. So what are assets? Assets are nothing but the properties like land, building, machinery, cash, stock, bills receivable. They all come under assets. Then liabilities. What are liabilities? Nothing but the amount payable like capital, creditors and all. Now sir, how to remember that this is an asset and this is a liability? From the ledgers, if you see all the real account balances and personal account debit balances, they are assets. Whereas personal account credit balances are liability. Personal account credit balances are liability. So at a nutshell, if I want to say, I'm giving you the examples of assets and liabilities. Like what are the different assets? Then goodwill, copyrights, patents, land and building, machinery, furniture, fixture, investment, closing stock, your cash in hand, cash at bank, debtors, bills receivable. These are the major assets here. Then what are the examples of liabilities? Your capital, creditors, bank loan, bank overdraft, bills payable. These are the major examples of your liability. Then comes the next part called what are the characteristics of balance sheet. These are the important characteristics of balance sheet. You can see that it is, first thing, it is prepared on a particular day, as I told you. Then second, it is a statement, not an account. Then it records all the liabilities and assets. On the right hand side, it records all assets. On the left hand side, it records all liabilities. And always both will be equal. Asset will be equal to liability. Like that, we have seen the characteristics of balance sheet. Now, if you see here, we have the grouping of balance sheet. Nothing but the arrangement of assets and liabilities. Like when we arrange the assets and liabilities in a sequence, we call it is as grouping of balance sheet, or we call marshalling of balance sheet. And for that, we have two methods. One, we call it as order of liquidity, and one we call order of permanence. In order of liquidity, what we do? In order of liquidity, we write on the top all the liquid asset, and in the bottom, we write all the fixed assets. Like that, on the liability side, we write liquid liabilities called the current liabilities, short-term liabilities on the top, and all fixed liabilities at the bottom. Whereas in order of permanence, we reverse it. It goes into the reverse manner, dear student. So here are the basic theory we have studied. In the next session, I am going to teach you the problems. Thank you. Have a nice day.